Hey everyone, Thornton Smash here, Resident Apex Predator, and if you're new to Apex Legends playing on the Switch, or maybe you're another player that is on console, you may be wondering, hey, I've got all these legend tokens, who do I finally unlock? Who's a good player to play as? And there's a lot of different legends you can choose. So in today's video, I'm actually going to go over all the legends that are unlockable and what their skill sets are to kind of help you figure out, hey, this character is going to help me the best, and it's also a little bit of my opinion and my personal preference which legends I think are good. Now, I also do want to let you know that if you are playing and you just want to unlock all the legends right away, you can do that. You can get this Champions Edition. You can see it with its price right there. Okay, and then if you decide to get that, it also gives you 3 legendary skins for 3 different characters, but you don't need to do that. You can unlock every single legend by like level 200 at the most. So really, if you want to save your money and just unlock them, this is the way to do it. Okay, just to go over basics and beginners, there are some characters that you have right from the get-go. That's Bloodhound right here, you have Gibraltar, you have Lifeline, you have Pathfinder, you have Wraith, you have Bangalore. Those are going to be your starter legends. You can play any of those right from the get-go, but this video is about who you should unlock first, right? Well, first I'm going to go over which ones you definitely should not unlock, and that's going to be, first up, Rampart. She's not worth unlocking right now. She's not very good at all with her abilities. Now, if you're a good player, you can play her well. I totally agree with that, but in terms of what her skill set is, it's very weak. Along with that is Loba. She does not have that many good skills yet. Now, if you need a lot of ammo or you find yourself running out of ammo a ton in a match, then you know what? Maybe Loba might be it for you. The other one is gonna be Crypto. Now, Crypto is someone who I say you could unlock depending on your playstyle, but he takes a lot of practice to actually get good with. So for the basis of this video, I'm gonna leave Crypto, Loba, and Rampart out, and then go over the best ones to unlock first. Now, going into legends that you should unlock right away when you get the chance to, I'm going to go into the most situational first and then to the universal good ones. So the most situational you can start with is probably Wattson. Now, Wattson is a very good legend and you can play with her on very high tier levels. A lot of pros do. She's got this great little fence she can set down right here, and when people run through it, they get stunned and you can connect them and make all kinds of crisscrossing patterns. You also get this great ultimate where she basically puts it down. It will heal your shields if you have them. It will block all incoming grenades, and you can block outgoing grenades as well if for some reason you want to screw over your teammates. But I will say she's once again very situational. You have to play her very defensively, and that isn't really good when you're starting the game because it limits your learning curve because you're not getting into a lot of fights. Speaking of defensively minded characters, this one is also one of the last ones you should unlock right up there with Wattson. That's going to be Caustic. Now, Caustic is a little bit easier to use than Wattson because you don't have to be as intricate with the pylon nodes as Wattson. You can basically throw down this gas trap and boom, people run into it, they get smoked and they get hurt. You can also shoot it to give you cover to pick up your teammates. You're pretty much in a safe zone right here, which is very helpful. As you can see, it does a little bit of damage to the enemy until they eventually die. You also get this Nox grenade, which will go ahead and give an area of effect attack. And you can play a little bit more aggressively with Caustic or use him as a runaway. That's why I recommend him a little higher than Wattson for new players. But at the end of the day, you still, once again, have to play defensively. You don't get a lot of experience, and a lot of your time is really spent just camping. Now, moving away from defensively minded legends, I'm actually going to go into one of my personal favorites to unlock first, and that's Revenant. Now, Revenant is the king of being aggressive and pushing. I enjoy him a ton. So going over his abilities, you can basically move just as quickly as you walk while crouched, so you can sneak up on enemies. You can go ahead and hit them with this silencer, which basically takes away their legend abilities. It does 10 damage, but if someone has a Gibby, for instance, and has a gun shield up, you can take away the Gibby shield. Along with that, his ultimate is pretty great. You basically throw down the death protection, you enter it, and now you can basically push a team. Now, after taking a certain amount of damage, as you can see in that bottom left, once that's all gone, you will be sent back to that totem. There's also a timer on it. When you go back to that totem, you will have less health, you'll have to heal, but it allows you to push very strategically with your team. The only reason I don't have him at the top of my list for everyone is if you don't like to play super aggressively, he may not be the legend for you. He does take a little bit of getting used to, but once you do get used to him, you can have a ton of fun with this guy. Then we have Fuse, who is the newest legend coming in Season 8, and he is also to be played just like Revenant, hyper aggressive. He is someone that if you want to push a lot of fights and have a lot of explosives, this is the guy to kind of run with, and this might be a high pick for you. Now, his passive that you can see here allows him to contain 1 extra grenade, but it also allows him to launch that grenade with his special stabilizer on his forearm, so you can shoot grenades further, but you can also have an extra grenade, and it gives you a tracker of where that grenade will bounce and hit to. You also have his tactical, which shoots off a cluster of grenades, about 3 or 4, kind of peppering the enemy and spraying them and kind of disorientating them. It isn't going to do a huge amount of damage, but it will kind of, you know, throw them off their balance. And his ultimate is basically a giant mortar. As you can see here, he can aim it, shoot it from far distance, and it basically explodes and puts a bunch of fire in a ring around the opponent, basically a bunch of thermites. It's really great for containing enemies, or if you've got them on the run, you can finish them off. Also, pair this with a Horizon black hole, and you've basically got a team dead to rights. Now, Mirage is going to be the next legend up, and he's actually been buffed a huge amount since he first came into the game, and they made him a lot better. His passive, as you can see, automatically cloaks you when using respawn beacons and reviving teammates. This is the guy you give a gold backpack to, and he can basically bamboozle for foozles the enemy. As you can see, he's got this cool little tactical right here. He throws that out, it basically, people see it, and they will shoot at it. But if you go ahead and choose the control option, you can go ahead and take control of that guy. Once you do that, it will mimic your moves so that you can basically decide, hey, I'm going to use my decoy to rush an enemy building. They'll all shoot at it, and then once it gets shot, it will also ping where that enemy is. His ultimate is pretty great as well. As you do this, it creates a whole slew of decoys. Once you do that, you can go ahead and they will mimic your moves. I personally like to run backwards towards an enemy, and then once I pass them, I shoot them in the back. But that's basically how I play Mirage. He's pretty great for a beginner just because of how much he can do. Okay, we're almost at the end of the list, and number 2 is actually going to be Octane, who has the best solo win rate in Apex Legends. Basically, he's got a passive that, while not taking damage, it will restore your health over time. Now, he is a bit of a loot goblin when you're playing with other people, but if you're solo or you don't have a team, this is the guy that you want to play with to get a win. Basically, you can loot very fast, but you can also use his tactical right here to really get away and run around the map incredibly fast, and you can continually do that and boost it, and it basically will recharge in about 2 seconds. And you do lose a little bit of health while doing this, but like I said, his passive regenerates his health. He also gets this jump pad, which is super fun. You can go ahead and run at it with the stim, and it will basically launch you across the map. You also get a double jump while doing that, so you can really go quite the distance with it. He's a really good legend just for terms of playing solo and trying to get the win if you don't have a team to rely on, which a lot of players have that situation. Okay, and the number 1 legend that you should unlock first, that's Season 7 legend, Horizon. Now, she is the number 1 most picked legend, and she's also got the highest win rate out of all legends. Something there to be said about that. Now, her passive actually increases air control, and you basically don't get fall damage with her if you fall from a great height, which is a huge advantage when partying other teams. You also get her cool tactical, which is a grab lift, which is great when you're being shot and you need to get away. I have so much trouble hitting people on this. You can air strafe left and right just like this, so it's very hard to hit you because you're so high up and everything. You also get a black hole. Boom, you throw that, it sucks everyone in the vicinity into that black hole. Not to mention, if you pair it with a caustic gas bomb, it is absolutely deadly. He is my number 1 pick for a variety of reasons. Thank you, Octane Jump Pad, for randomly being there from earlier. So there you have it. Those are probably the best legends to unlock as you're first starting into the game. Now, everyone's going to have their own differing opinion, and you can go ahead and build however you want. But let me know in the comments, which legends do you plan on unlocking first? Because I'm always interested to hear your guys' feedback. And until next time, legends, keep slaying in the Outlands, and I'll see you out there.